I'm back. So I had to figure out my tech. Is this a good angle? How do I look? Does the Eiffel Tower make me look fat? And we're at this lighty boy, this skinny boy, lighty boy. I'm sitting on my batteries, so let's not forget to leave them because I didn't want to have a dirty ass. Okay. Oh, I had no sound? The whole time I had no sound? Weird. And I was doing a whole spiel, like giving you guys history and stuff. Okay. Sorry, French boyfriend is telling me I had no sound. So I'm gonna go to Oberkampf neighborhood and try to eat tacos. If I can make it in time. I don't know. Will I make it in time? It's open till 10. I'm not gonna make it. Okay, what am I gonna do instead? What's open later? I wanna eat Mexican food. Here, I'll give you this sexy view. No, merci beaucoup. Because if I make it there in half an hour, that's only 20 minutes before they close. Ugh. Just checking that all my streams are tight, that everything is working. It looks right, it looks right. Okay, cool. So if anybody wants to...
Yes, guys, beer, wine, champagne.
Anybody wants to
Beer,
chat with me?
wine, champagne.
I got my chatty chat going. Chat. Read and reply. Chat overlay. Ooh, chat overlay. Okay, whatever. All this complicated stuff that I'm chat's kind of, yeah, Flox, I can see your message. So I got a second phone to like have chat on while I'm riding the bike. So yay for me. One day I will not be like a tech granny. Okay, hopefully my battery pack protected my ass. And let's head for the bike. So it's a race to tacos. I guess if we can't eat tacos, see, the problem is once you think of tacos and you can't get them, it's devastating. So I'm going to have a race towards tacos. I have to find a bike. The closest bike would be where? Dot. Okay, I know where I'm going. La Torre Eiffel. Hang on, bad camera work for a sec. And boom, boom, boom. Ooh, sorry. Stabilization ain't gonna help that. All right, so it's a race to tacos. I'm starving. I need to eat before this thing and not after, because then I spend the whole time talking about not French food. And with you guys tuning in, you probably want like your dose of Frenchness. So yeah, you'll notice probably that the camera angle is wide. Oh, so you guys, Weebs, Floxed, T1000. I was talking to you guys the whole time with my phone, but I don't think my audio was working for some reason. Somebody messaged me that my audio wasn't working. So I don't know if you guys heard me, but I was talking to you the whole time. Oh well, one of these days I'll get it right. See, this crepe stand's probably like legit. Not legit like a real crepe stand, but it's not like the illegal guys like storing stuff in the sewer. So yeah, we got berets and twinkly stuff, twinkly boys. I told all kinds of Hitler jokes, and it's funny that like Hitler's become funny, but Putin is, I can't even joke about Putin anymore. It's just not funny. I had a funny Putin experience like a few years ago. ETA. On my way from Eiffel, trying to eat tacos. So I'm gonna make it. It's a race to tacos. Maybe if we get there before 10, because you know, this is not Spain. Everything closes super early. Maybe if we get there before 10, they will let us order, I don't know. Otherwise, what else are we gonna do with our lives? Are we gonna eat food at home? Ooh, crepe, crepe, crepe. Look at that. I'm so hungry right now. Look at the steam. So I switched to my phone because when we got close, because I wanted to give you guys a tight shot on the Eiffel Tower, because as you can see with the GoPro, everything's super wide. Super wide. It's great for biking, because what happens is it stabilizes. Here's one of these illegal how much is it?
Where are you going?
I'm going to the Louvre.
Yes.
How much?
Look, it's 25.
Only 25?
Yes.
Amazing. That's
Louvre,
so cheap.
25.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
No, next time. Thank you.
20?
Yeah. So that's how, did you see the card? That's how they get you. Because they charge you for each monument you pass. You're like, oh, the Louvre, from here to the Louvre, 20 bucks. That's a lot of money, but because it's a lot of money. You're not that far. Paris is small. Yeah. It's got the sound system. So yeah, so you think, oh, not too bad. And if there's two of you, they're like, oh, it's per person. You're like, 40 bucks to go to the Louvre. Oh my God. Like I said, and then you get there and they're like 300 because they want to charge you 20 bucks for each monument you passed, not the monument you went to and from. So you're like, I went from the Eiffel Tower to the Louvre, 20 bucks per person, right? Which is already atrociously expensive. No, it's not even that. It's worse. So let's get one of these bikey boy. Oh no, that's a lime. I have a dot, so I get this so I'm not huffing and puffing and breathing into the camera. I have an e-bike subscription where I have 60 rides per 30 days, which I burn through easily, my lazy ass. So I use my regular bike for a lot of things, but the e-bikes are so nice for streaming because then I'm not making the whole stream about me breathing into the camera, which you might appreciate. Oh, come on. Did it open? Start ride. Full battery. Can't lose. Got it? All right, so it's a race to tacos. I'm going to go fast. Oops, shite switch. There's a, oh, come on, man. It's got a broken, we have to lean it against a tree because it has a broken kickstand. So, and it has a sandwich and a can of something. Thank you very much. No bueno. All right. I would be a better citizen and honestly like put that properly in the trash, but I'm in a hurry. As I mentioned, the taco gods are going to smile upon me. I just have to, to get ready. So, suit up with my telefono. No, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I will put my gimbal away properly, like a decent person. There we go. There you go, Gimbal Reno. Taking good care. Okay. I'm always cold, so I'm putting gloves on. So what I might do, depending on the mood and the vibe, is stream tacos. If I make it in time, maybe we will have some tacos and show you a Mexican taqueria in Paris on Rue Jean-Pierre Tambo. All right, you could find me in the club charging people 3 hundos. All right. They can lower these if they need vehicles coming through. So yeah, they get a bunch of people in there and then they charge them 200, 300 bucks to go like 20-minute ride across town. They stop and they say, look, it's the Place de la Concorde where Marie Antoinette's head was cut off. And you're like, everyone's like, wow, cool. I'm on cobblestone, so that's why it sounds crazy. Yeah, so everybody gets out and then they get the bill and they're like, what? And a lot of people are just too intimidated. T1000, yes, tacos. Tacos are what motivate me. So guys, I won't be looking at the chat for a while because I'm gonna try to go fast. Hilarious. So if you want to follow my trajectory, I'm going to take the waterfront to Boulevard Sebastopol, maybe? Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. Yeah, Sebastopol to République and then across to Rue Jean-Pierre Tambo. Bike lanes pretty much the whole way. Thank you, Anne Hidalgo, Mayor of Paris. Oh, I'm gonna get in front of this clowny ass. Oh no. Okay. La 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 la. Okay, get away from that. So time me guys, how long is it taking me to get from the Eiffel Tower to Chulita on Rue Jean-Pierre Tambo? Will I make it in time to have them serve me the tacos? Okay, I got the green, baby, don't run in front of me. I got my hand on the brake. I don't want to squish pedestrians. But tacos. But tacos, papi. Okay. If I took a regular bike and I was going back to my place, which like I said, by the Canal Saint Martin, probably be 45 minutes. So I think I could make it in half an hour or less to the Chulita, which is not as far as my house. Okay, that's a yellow. Taking it. Flashing yellow means yes. The street consents. You always have to watch the cars right there. I know the traffic patterns of Paris so well from biking all the time that it's pretty wild. So, no, we're gonna go this way. So if you look at our lives from earlier, I met a famous baker on the street and he was filming a TV show for some French network, and so I introduced myself and I took a selfie with him, and my camera was kind of angled badly so you don't see it that well, but then what I did is I backed up and I filmed him getting filmed, so that was pretty funny. It was like 6 o'clock earlier. So you could look in the old lives if you're looking at, so Twitch isn't storing my videos yet because I just restarted this channel, so I don't have enough juice, but YouTube stores them in live, and if Facebook is properly connected, which I think it is, they're on our Facebook page too. Which way? Where do we go now? Embassies, etc. Kinds of things like that around here. And this is a party bus. Look, there's a disco on this bus. It's not really rocking. I think they haven't had enough alcohol. There are also which is a restaurant, so you sit on the top and you get to see all the pretty sights, and they're cooking on the bottom. Oh, you know what, it's right in front of us as I talk about it. There it goes. It's not well lit up so you can't really see, but you get all the best views, and the food is actually pretty good on that one, because you know, boat dinners and stuff are not really well known for being good, but that one's actually good, so I can say with confidence, like, go for it. Okay, what's the fastest way to get to Rue Jean-Pierre Tambo? So confused. I think I'm gonna go this way. I mean, tacos cause a panic, right? It's just what happens. So we're on the Alexander Third Bridge. We're crossing over. I'm going to make a right, and then we're going to go through the Place de la Concorde. Ooh, cobblestones. And that will be where Marie Antoinette lost her head, along with about almost, well, a couple thousand, almost 3,000 members of the aristocracy and royalty. I'm going up on the bike lane here, so don't worry about that red light. We have a counter for how many people have used the bike lane. It's like McDonald's with its billions and billions served, because the bike lane setup is relatively new here in Paris. So we had to kind of sell it to people. The mayor was letting people know how many people are using it, so people are more supportive of it, because we just voted Sunday 90% in favor of banning e-scooters. Only the public share ones, the privately owned ones, are fine, but the public share ones, like, people were driving like maniacs on them, so the public was just pretty much strongly against them. So yeah. Do you know a place so well that you know every bump in the street like I do? Been through here so many times. National Assembly. Oh shit. As I hit a bump and almost get thrown off my bike because I'm trying to do camera work. So there's going to be a big protest tomorrow, probably 2 or 3 p.m. I will log on depending on how coordinated I am. And I'm going to start with a stream of like people watching from a cafe, because it's really tiring to do the protest. They end up being, last time I thought, oh, I'm going to go out and stream for an hour, 2 hours, the protest, because I thought, okay, you know, it's going to be chill, we're just going to go march. No, I was out for 10 hours. I streamed for maybe 6 or 7, and we got tear gassed several times. Once, like, seriously enough that we were like, let's get out of the march. And so we did. And we tried to get out, and the police wouldn't let us out. Pretty cool. They only let people out 3 at a time. And so I got out eventually, but then we went back in. The obelisk of Luxor, Egypt, oldest thing in Paris, as far as it's either, you know, I have to look this up. It's either the Stela of Hammurabi in the Louvre, or that it's 3,400 years old or 3,700 years old. We have Roman ruins as well, but those are not as old. Egypt is older. Ancient Egypt, maybe. Regular Egypt, I don't know. Regular Egypt is just like us, guys. They have cell phones. This is the Hotel de la Marine, one of our newest museums. It used to be a storage room for Louis XV's extra furniture, and then it became the headquarters of the Navy. And then it just became a museum about a year and a half, 2 years ago, during COVID. It's really funny because it was closed down for a long time and nobody knew what it, like, nobody thought about it. I never thought, like, what is that building? I know next door to it is the Hotel Crillon, and that building was just sitting there, and I just never thought about it. And I don't think Parisians, nobody ever talked about it. There was just nothing. And then one day they're like, new museum, Hotel de la Marine, and I was like, oh, where? In that building. Okay. So that's what was going on all along, is that they were restoring it. So we are on Rue de Rivoli. You can see the beautiful Haussmannian arcade buildings. The fancy hotel. There's La Durée Macaron. Le Meurice, where supposedly Jay-Z and Beyonce conceived Blue Ivy. Supposedly. Is that a legend or is it true? Only Beyonce's vagina knows. So we are taking the fast lane. On the right is the Tuileries Gardens, and coming up on the right will be the Musée du Louvre. And so all of this used to be a palace. Big ass palace. And the Louvre, of course, is enormous. You're gonna see how big it is. This building on the right is the beginning of the Louvre. Oh, I really have to watch the street because I have one hand. So we are going on the commuter street rather than like the super pretty street because tacos. So still not bad. I mean, if this is ugly, you're winning, right? If this is your like not so glamorous street, here's the glamorous part of Rue de Rivoli. The not so glamorous part is up ahead where we're going. It's kind of like a shopping mall. They have a Starbucks, they have a McDonald's, etc. Okay. H&M, it's like a big mall up ahead. Here is cool. It's pretty because we're next to the Louvre. So this little traffic section is always interesting because people get really confused that there are bikes here. So I have to proceed with extreme caution. Okay, good. Musée du Louvre or the Louvre. I was mentioning the other day, I know a girl, because you know you say Louvre, and there's kind of like a sound at the end, the R-E. So there's a girl that I know that she's not French, but she does tours of the Louvre, and she says Louvre, and I just thought, holy, really? You say that to people like on tour? You say Louvre? We were talking about it. She was saying Louvre, Louvre. I was like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. She's an art historian and takes people on tours, and the whole time she's telling them in the Louvre. I was just thinking, wow, I don't feel so bad about my French. So if you look at the earlier stream when I met Christian Vabre, the famous French baker, I spoke to him in French, so you got to hear me clownishly speaking French with my very heavy accent, and if not fewer than 3 grammatical errors, so what? It happened earlier when it was light out. I streamed it earlier. Bad camera angle, and I took a selfie, but I look ugly in the selfie, so I'm not posting it. I'm not good at selfies. So here's the back of the Louvre. It's a little chilly, gloves, and we are in, well, we're at the tip of the Louvre Rivoli Tuileries neighborhood. You could look it up on Paris to Find. Oh, too bad we can't get a tight shot, but I'm gonna move up a little bit so maybe you can see the neon. It says Duluc Detective. I read an article about them a couple years ago. It's like one of the last remaining detective agencies in Paris. So yeah. So I was gonna go, but there's a So enjoy the ride on Rivoli. You can see it's all Urban Outfitters. This is where your Urban Outfitters is, people. And it's super quiet because all the commuters are done commuting. Samaritan. This is the new part of the Samaritan that just reopened. But this is the old part up here. It's a little too dark, I think, to make it out. It's a department store. We have our Grand Magasin, like Galerie Lafayette, BHV. Okay, I have to make a choice. Okay, I'm going up. Yes, this is what I'm doing. I'm going up Boulevard de Sébastopol. Then I'm going to cut across to République. That'll be the easiest way to Jean-Pierre Tambour. Because if I go all the way to Bastille and then go up the canal, it's farther, going out of my way. Let's not do that. Métro, boulot, taco. It's cold enough that the breeze gives me the sniffles. So I'm proud of myself. For those of you that have been with my streaming journey, Flops to Beebs, my original gangstas. So let's make a left turn here. I actually got key pieces of technology some sort of working today, so I feel like a boss. I I feel extremely proud of myself. Here's a left turn. It's crazy because there's no mechanism for turning here. You just have to do like the indirect left turn. But if people don't have lights and reflectives, it's not so easy to see them. So yeah, so I used my gimbal for the first time. I didn't do a good job, but okay, whatever. Now I understand why Cam was like, because Comrade Cameron, he's the other streamer with me. He's just not streaming these days. He was like complaining about it, kind of. He likes to grump about things, but he was like, oh, how do I use this thing? And I'm like, no, it's super easy. Well, it's super easy because a professional cameraman showed us how to use it, and he was just like pressing buttons and making it do all these tricks, and we're like, oh, look how nice and easy this little piece of simple equipment is. Well, you could see my camera work from earlier, and I think I had no audio apparently. I don't know if I had no audio the whole time or what, but mixed results. It's not as easy as I thought. I need a real, what do you call it, stick. I used to work in TV, we called it a stick, tripod that goes up higher, because I just have the mini one for the GoPro and then this mini gimbal one, and it wasn't tall enough for earlier. So yeah. Ooh, bottle. So I used my gimbal. I used my multi-chat where I can see everybody chatting from YouTube or Twitch or wherever, rather than switching back and forth like I used to have to. I'm pretty proud of myself because tech, I'm just allergic to it. Like social media. Flox sends me a message on Instagram and I don't see it for like 3 months because I don't even pay attention to messages there. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess there are messages. Flox, you must be coming to town for the TwitchCon, right? I got the email about it and then you told me about it too. So I'm gonna go. I just have to organize myself. I know it's coming up soon and I have to like actually be, I'm not a person who plans super far ahead and organizes well. So is this my turn? No. So I'm going to go unless there's like some really big thing going on that day, but I don't think so. What is it, the 11th or the 15th? I'll go during the day. It'll be weird. Everybody will be streaming. It's like a streamers convention. I feel like I will be the least interesting person there because I'm just a history and culture and, you know, cuisine kind of nerd. I'm not going to have like crazy costumes, or I don't do anything exotic, you know. I don't have any crazy costumes. I don't have any like weird situations to offer. I'm just me telling French history stories and French culture. See, it's me. Hello. So I won't have any fun anime get-ups. And I feel like that's what everybody does there, right? It's like a thing for video game people. I've heard about this thing. I know what conventions are, but I swear to God, I've never been to anything like this. So thanks for reminding me, Flox. I'm going. Oh yeah, Flox, we got to talk about your trip. We're gonna video call because I'm gonna help him plan his trip. He be tripping, yo. Why you tripping, boo? Okay, what time is it? Is it taco time? I'm hesitant to say the phrase taco time because it skeeves me out, because a friend of mine, actually I gotta tell her to watch this. She's in Miami. She used to have a dog. We used to live in the same building. That's how we became friends. And she had this dog that would hump its bed, and she used to call it taco time. I don't know why. It's so gross. So I have this kind of stomach churning like thought about her dog humping the dog bed whenever I think of the phrase taco time, which would be the natural thing to be talking about right now. Taco time, taco cutoff time is 10 p.m. I knew it was cutting it close. I'm like, oh no, I can go to the Eiffel Tower and make it back for a restaurant that closes at 10. And that doesn't mean like if you get in at 9:59 they're gonna serve you. It means they probably want to kick you out at 10. So I don't know. We'll see what a disappointing person I am in a few minutes. Ooh, let's check the time. So if the no hurry, they're closing. Okay, no hurry. I already missed the tacos. Shame. Okay. Well, what I could do then, since I'm not in a hurry, is change. Only 22 minutes on the bike. Wow. I guess if I really want to go fast, I'm really going fast because it's not bad. 22 minutes. 22 minutes. Oh, we're almost at République. So 22 minutes from the Eiffel Tower to République is pas mal. So they're closing, so okay. I'll just have to see what the alternate plan is. I don't think anything's closed. So Chilango, which is the best Mexican restaurant, oh, they're closing. I don't know if they have closed because like what day they were closing was kind of a controversy because the owners weren't sure. But I always talk to the chef and the barman there. Shout out to Dante. Best Mexican food I ever had in my life in Paris. Unbelievable. So, because there's not a lot of Mexican food here, and there's especially not a lot of good Mexican food because there aren't a lot of Mexicans. So you need a critical mass of Mexicans. So anyway, we're gonna go to Chilango and see if they're open, but they may have permanently closed. So we were talking to the barman and the chef because they said, no, listen, this is the last week of Chilango. This is like a month and a half ago. And we were like, no, what? And they're like, yeah, they're closing at the end of this week. As soon as we run out of food, we're closing. And I was like, no. So we went to Chilango like 2 or 3 times that week. And then they said, no, they think they're going to be open till the end of the month. And they were. And since then, we don't know if they really closed or not. Some kind of thing where like the owners had a fight amongst themselves. Like there's 3 owners. So, whew, loud over here. So the barman and the chef, who is like a chef. See, look at this. Like, can you let us through? Okay. They're looking for a restaurant space to open. So every time I was around town, I'm like, ooh, this looks like it would be a good restaurant for them. And I would take a picture and send them a WhatsApp and say, hey, what about this? And I swear to God, every available storefront that I found, they're like, oh yeah, we just looked at that one yesterday. We're looking at that one tomorrow. Okay, bike lane says green. I'm taking it. So we're at Place de la République. Not that I let you stop and enjoy it because tacos. Excuse me. This is 7 days a week, 24 hours a day pharmacy. If you're in Paris and you get sick, come to République and look for this one because it's open all the time. They charge you a couple euros extra to be open on Sunday and everything, but it works. So République back there, you can't see it. Taco time. Taco time. Oh, there's another. This is Bouillon République. So this whole like very cheap restaurant trend became really big. So bouillons, there were like 2 of them a couple years ago. And it's not the best food that you'll have in your life, but it is pretty good for being super cheap. Sides are like 2 or 3 euros. Oh, there's a Boca Mexa on Jean-Pierre Tambo. Hang on, I have to text my partner in tacos. Ooh, if not, we can go to Korean barbecue. I'm near Chilango.